Good morning. I'm so delighted to see and be here, see you in spirit if you're not here looking at me live. Is it truth if you believe something that's not a lie just because it's been repeated many, many times? Is it still truth? So today I want to talk about how to tell truth from a lie and how programmed many of us are in believing certain things that may or may not be truth. Got an itchy nose. It looks like some spirit wants to come in and talk through me today. So let's see what's coming up. My name is AmiraH Hall. I'm a spirit medium and I'm a manifesting mentor, and I help people turn their pain into power to create their dreams and desires and sort of get clear with what's out there in terms of telling truth from a lie, because God knows we're bombarded with things that are not true. And so I want to start with a story, that started to shift my reality. Do you believe in aliens? It's one of those things that, yeah, I believe in aliens. I've had my own experiences, ETs, aliens, whatever we want to call them. And one of the earliest experiences that I had was going to Hawaii, actually. I went with a couple friends and we went to the Big Island to swim with wild dolphins. And I was told about this book by Joan Ocean. I'll never forget her name. And it was about the wild dolphins and how they were actually ETs that stayed here on the Earth planet to help raise consciousness. And boy, that really kind of took me for a loop. It really stretched my imagination. And so I just considered it. I was open to the thought, and I didn't have any proof of whether or not that was true or not, right? There was no other books really about that. That was a good 20 years ago. And so I just went with it, and I went and swam with the dolphins and just thought it would be an exhilarating experience. I love water. And so getting to Hawaii and swimming with the wild dolphins, it was interesting because the first day or two when we went out in kayaks, we didn't see any dolphins. And we were told by the leader that oftentimes people that come from the mainland, their energy is really scattered and really, a high frequency, not in a good way. It's just all scattered and distorted and a frenzy, I guess you could say. So we needed some time, they said, to get grounded, to be coming into alignment, to connect with them. And they guided us to send thoughts to them and a willingness to connect and learn with them and from them. And so that's what I did for a couple of days. And then we went out with the boat and we were in the ocean, the deep blue sea, and there was no sight of land anywhere. We were way out there. And we jumped in the water and we started swimming, just floating, kicking with you. I had a snorkel and fins. I didn't go in with a wetsuit. So there we were. And before I knew it, I was swimming, had my head down, not seeing anything, just swimming along, kicking my feet. And then boom, out of nowhere was this whole, I'm not sure if it's a flock or a pod perhaps. And I couldn't count. I tried to count. There was over 100 dolphins, and there was a swarm and they were guiding me. I started to follow them, and I'd go this way when they'd go that way, and I'd kick right when they would go right. And it was almost like a game they were playing with me. And it's so funny because my perception was that I was keeping up with them, but there's no way in hell I could swim and keep up with them. So they were playing with me. And so then they started spinning. And so what I would do is I would dive down and spin circles, and they would do it more. So anyway, the long story short is it was an incredible experience. When I came back to the hotel room, me and my roommate, we were so exhausted. We were in the water with the dolphins maybe an hour and a half. Something happened. I became different. I was so almost comatose. We couldn't even go out for dinner. We ate, dried fruits and nuts for almost a week. Yeah. And so because we were just so overwhelmed, and something was going on with our psyche, with our energetics, was rebalancing. So that was an incredible experience for me that made it real. That there was something way more about the dolphin presence, and I started to think about it. Doesn't everybody love dolphins? So again, that's a truth that I have now because I had that experience. And looking at the whole ET and the consciousness evolution, the spiritual, I looked at this graph, the trending. I don't know if you can see this. Trending spiritual information, spiritual awakening. This was the Google trend back in 2006. And where it's at today, it's been on a steady incline. So I can see more and more people so fascinated and interested in all aspects of spiritual awakening. But here's the danger of not being able to tell truth from a lie. When you're new on the path and you don't know where to go, you start, right? What piques your curiosity? I get that. I've done that too. The problem becomes when you're bombarded with the noise. Back in 2006, we didn't even have the noise or the attention on the subject matter that we have today. And there's people are being bombarded with non-truths. That's what brought me here today. Actually, I was listening. Somehow I got onto this channel of a channeler, and it was just full of stuff. It just made my hair curl. And so, the delicate dance we play here is that many people, teachers that are desiring to be well-informed or to give you the best information may have a piece of the information, not have the whole picture. That's why I think it's so vital that we learn to develop our intuition and to be able to tell truth from a lie. If someone sends me an email and they say, "Oh, Amira, I can't meet with you because of this, this, and this," I can tell if it's a truth or a lie. And it may not be an outright trying to hurt me lie, but I can see they're lying to themselves. And so I can see when news media is telling me something that is non-truth. And is it non-truth or mistruth? When The Secret first came out, I paced the floors at night because there was non-truths in that message. There was enough truth to make everybody buy into it, and they did a fantastic marketing job. I won't take that away. And there is some truth to it, but it's not the whole picture. And so is that truth then? Is it truth because they left out vital information? The whole truth and nothing but the truth. God, that's kind of corrupted now too, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so, but yeah, learning, that's learning as a clairvoyant. I look at a symbol, and I look at a symbol that is consistent, like for instance, a rose, that I can look at over and over and over again, and it's going to give me different information. It's like a scrying tool. So I can look at a symbol when somebody makes a statement, or if I read a statement, or if I'm exposed to something, I can see, is this something that is in alignment or not? I'm going to tell you one quick story. I had a friend years ago who was working on his MBA, was super excited, started getting into projects, and was going to go into business with this guy and build a coffee shop. And this was in San Diego. And he called me and told me all about it. And yeah, I was dating him. So we had a closeness, right? And he just told me all about it. And I said, well, I know you're really excited and all that, but I don't think it's really going to happen. Well, I'm telling you what, that was probably a deal breaker. I don't know. I think things got icy from that point on. He was so pissed off at me because I rained on his parade and was negative Nelly. And it wasn't I was being negative at all. And quite honestly, I didn't realize how sensitive he was. And so easily influenced. Now, he didn't let me influence him. He continued on for months and months and months, a lot of strain, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of time. Guess what? The guy ended up being a fraud. And I told him, I said, this guy doesn't seem aligned with the project, or there's something not right with that person. So, if you're one of my clients and I give you some news that you're not happy about, look, it's not that I'm trying to hurt you or rain on your parade, but looking at the truth of the energy and where it's set. Now, the caveat for that is we can change the energy of something that doesn't look aligned. Okay, so not that we can create the impossible. Well, yeah, we can create impossible. But what I'm saying is we don't want to influence or set the energy that would take someone else's free choice away. So when you're in partnership or when there's an agreement, like in this example, they both have an agreement, right? And they're both learning lessons. I get that. But I could have looked at the energy of it and cleaned off the energy that not only my friend had on it, but also the energy of the potential partner. And sometimes that could have quickened the process of it just, blowing up, and so that he wouldn't have wasted all the time. Bottom line is, when we can set the energy to create our intention, we're empowered creators, right? And that is what I teach people in my life mastery, is how do we get what we want? Even if it doesn't look like it's going to be in our favor, we can change the energy and bring it in alignment with our favor. Not that we're controlling somebody or changing their human free choice. None of that. But if it's inclined to happen, we can set the intention and set the energetic frequency to increase the probability. I hope that makes some sense. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to probably talk more about truth or lie tomorrow. There's a whole lot of information out. I'm being fired up this week. Mars is in Cancer, so that's going to exasperate some things, but I'm here to tell it to you like it is. So maybe you've got some questions about truth or lies that I can answer, and you can drop those in the comments below. And you know what? The bottom line is we've got to get into alignment. If you're not grounded, if you're not centered, and you don't have command of your sixth chakra, that third eye, you're not going to be able to tell truth from a lie, and you're going to continue on blinded, and you're going to be hoodwinked, and you're going to be tricked, and you're going to be pissed off because you're not. Why didn't I see the truth? Well, because you didn't have a clear center of your head to be able to get that information. So if you want to know more about any of all that stuff, hey, there's a link back down below, and I'd be happy to talk to you about that and how you can develop yours. So in the meantime, get started with the Stress Buster, okay? That will help start clearing the energy so that you can get your answers, not somebody else's answers for you. All right, that's key. So in the meantime, hey, shine bright. Talk to you real soon. See you weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If this information you thought was valuable, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're this far, please subscribe and